Okay, in this video, we're going to go ahead and take a look at some, excuse me, initial administration aspects. So we're going to take a look at how to add a custom field and how to add that to the request form. Since this is an administrative task, we're going to go ahead and log in as our tenant administrator. So we'll go ahead and log in there. Now, most of the administration of the workflows of adding custom fields and things of that nature happen from the mega menu underneath administration in what we call Studio. So if we jump to Studio, just a quick overview of what we're looking at here. In the upper left-hand corner, you'll see a drop-down. That drop-down represents every object or every entity that exists in the system. In our case, we're looking for requests. So I'm going to scroll down here to requests, and I'm going to go ahead and select it. Upon selecting it, the fields get populated. You can see lots of tabs across the top, different forms, different processes and rules, etc. So a couple of things about the Studio here. If you see these locked padlocks here in the columns, that indicates that it's an out-of-the-box field that cannot be modified. There's lots of reasons for that. A lot of the out-of-the-box workflows, a lot of calculations, a lot of things like that happen. So you can see there's currently no fields here that are editable. If you wanted to quickly get a look at all the custom fields that you've added to a system, you can go ahead and click custom there as well. But we'll go ahead and create a new field. So we're going to create a new field, and this one is going to be called manual QA. So the intent here is we're going to add a field here to determine that we need to do a manual quality assurance on this particular request. And in a future video, we'll adjust the workflow looking at this particular field. So a couple of things to note: anytime you're adding a field, the name is the name of the field. Some people might call this and refer to this as the database name, but this is the actual name of the field as opposed to the label for the field. Labels for fields can come in multi-language. You can see here if I click the little ellipses there, I get numerous languages that I could populate the actual label for. So in this case, our English label is just going to be manual QA needed. The type of the field. You can see from me clicking the drop down that there's lots of different types that could be used. In our case, I'm just going to go ahead and make this a standard Boolean field, so it's true, false. It's not going to be required. It's not going to have sort, search, hidden, read only, anything along those lines. So that is basically all that's needed. So if I go ahead and click save here, we'll see this new field show up. We can see I called it manual QA needed. Any custom field that gets added with the _C. You could see that up there in the name. It was automatically added for me. In the name of this, that helps the system understand what fields were added from a custom perspective, which are tenant or implementation specific, and which ones are more generic or that are provided by the software vendor, in this case, Micro Focus. Okay, so now that we have our new field, let's add it to a form. So the type of form that we're going to add it to, you can see just by clicking on the Forms tab, we have lots of types of forms for request. So I'm going to hopefully select the right one here so we could see it. A new request form, a general request, preview, note, looking. Okay, so here's support request, but we're actually going to do this for service requests because we're going to modify the workflow for some of our requests that come through, so we can see that. So I'm going to click service request. By quickly looking at this form, I can tell this is not the correct form. I can tell because this first field that is displayed here is business justification, so that's not the correct form. Let me check general request. Nope, not general request either. There's not defaults.